Welcome, everyone. We're doing a deep dive today into what it really means to be an alt-link here at Alter.
Yeah, Alter, our marketing and advertising agency. And we're always aiming for that vision, right?
To be recognized as the home of limitless creativity. Absolutely.
And today, we're zeroing in on one of our core values.
Adaptability, which is, I think, so fundamental to everything we do.
It really is. The way we define it is, I am open to experimenting with new techniques and technologies, even when they are unfamiliar.
Right, that statement. And, we want to unpack that a bit. What does it actually mean for us day in, day out?
Exactly. It's not just some nice words on a page. It's a principle. It genuinely shapes how we tackle challenges, how we spot opportunities.
Okay, so let's get practical. When we talk adaptability at Alter, what are we actually talking about?
Well, you know our industry. It's incredibly dynamic. Things change constantly.
Oh, yeah. Algorithms shift. New tools pop up overnight, it feels like sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Or client needs evolve, sometimes mid-project. So in that kind of environment, adaptability isn't just like a nice to have, it's crucial. It's almost our superpower.
A superpower, I like that.
Yeah, think of it like being really agile, resourceful, basically ready to jump into something new, even if it feels a bit unknown.
So it's not just about reacting when something changes. It's more than that.
Precisely. It's more proactive. It's about really embracing the fact that change is the constant here.
Okay.
And seeing that uncertainty not as, a problem, but actually as, well, an invitation to innovate, to lead.
Right, sort of leaning into it.
Yeah, leaning in, having that curious mindset, being willing to step outside the usual way of doing things.
Can you give us some, real world examples? What does this actually look like for an alt-link?
Absolutely. Okay. Imagine a designer. Maybe they've mostly done static ads, right? An adaptable alt-link sees video content blowing up and thinks, okay, I should learn motion graphics.
So they proactively seek out that new skill.
Exactly. That willingness, that step to expand their toolkit, it helps them grow, obviously, but it also means we can offer cooler, more dynamic stuff to clients. That's adaptability right there.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Got another one?
Sure. Think about a strategist. They've built out a whole campaign plan based on the initial research.
Okay.
But then the real-time data starts coming in and it suggests, the audience isn't quite biting like we thought.
Right, happens all the time.
It does. So the adaptable strategist doesn't just stubbornly stick to the plan because, well, that was the plan.
No, they'd look at the data.
They dive into the data, figure out what's not clicking, and they're agile enough to pivot, maybe tweak the messaging, try different channels. They let the results guide them, not just the initial idea.
So being willing to change course, even after you've put in work, that's key.
It really is. And okay, another one, super relevant right now. Generative AI.
Ah, yes, Gen AI.
So think about a content writer. Instead of seeing these AI tools as, I don't know, a threat or something to avoid,
They embrace it.
they see it as a potential assistant, something that can help brainstorm, maybe draft some initial ideas, play with different tones.
So using it to be smarter, faster.
Exactly. Embracing new tech to boost what we can do and how efficiently we do it. And just quick clarification, Gen AI tools are the ones creating text, images, that kind of thing from prompts.
Gotcha. Good example of being open to unfamiliar tech. What about, say, in web development?
Okay, yeah. An adaptable web dev.
Hmm?
Maybe they get a client who needs a site built on a CMS, a content management system that they haven't used much before.
Okay, a new platform.
Right. Instead of pushing back, their adaptability means they go, okay, let's learn this thing. They explore it, figure out its strengths, and how to make it work best for the client.
So digging in and figuring it out.
Yeah. And a CMS, for anyone less familiar, it's basically the system behind the scenes letting people update website content easily.
These examples really paint a clear picture.
Yeah.
So adaptability. It's not just the actions, is it? It's more about the thinking behind it, the
Yeah.
mindset.
Precisely. It's a way of thinking. It's that let's try it attitude when something new comes along, rather than just, shutting it down immediately.
Fostering that experimental culture.
Yes. Where trying something new is okay. It's even encouraged. It's seen as how we learn.
And what if that first try? Well, what if it doesn't quite hit the mark?
That's where iterating quickly comes in. Being adaptable means you don't see those early bumps as failure.
Ah, right. It's feedback.
Exactly. Valuable feedback. You look at what didn't work, you adjust, you try again. It's about resilience,
Yeah.
being committed to finding a solution, even if it's not the one you first imagined.
So it's also about staying curious and being open to input.
Absolutely. Listening to feedback from colleagues, clients, just observing what's happening out there in the industry.
Uh-huh.
An adaptable mindset means you're receptive. You take that info on board, use it to refine your work, your thinking. It's about always learning, recognizing good ideas can pop up anywhere.
Now, it's probably useful to touch on what adaptability isn't.
Yeah.
Any common misconceptions, maybe?
Yeah, good point. Adaptability doesn't mean, like, throwing out all your expertise or just blindly chasing every shiny new trend without thinking strategically.
Right, it's not random.
No, not at all. It's about thoughtfully looking at new tools or methods and figuring out how they can actually help us do great work. It's about being agile, but still informed and purposeful in the direction we take.
Right.
And it also doesn't mean you have to have all the answers up front. Nobody does. It's more about having the confidence, the resourcefulness to figure things out as you go.
That's a really important distinction.
Hmm.
So how does all this ability to adapt, how does it really impact our work
Yeah.
and alter as a whole?
Well, picture this. You're in a client presentation. You've got your deck ready.
Yeah.
But the client starts talking, and they suddenly mention a completely different angle they want to explore, something you hadn't focused on.
Okay, curveball.
Right. An adaptable team doesn't freeze. They don't get stuck on, but this is what we prepared. They pivot seamlessly. They connect what the client is now saying to relevant parts of their expertise, maybe reframe things on the fly.
Showing they can meet that new need.
Exactly. They see the shift not as a derailment, but as a new chance to show value. They're not stuck in their comfort zone.
So it keeps us relevant, responsive, nimble.
Totally. And zoom out to the bigger picture. Real innovation, the really creative stuff. It often happens when you're willing to experiment, to push beyond what's known and comfortable.
That limitless creativity vision again.
It ties right back. Alter's commitment to that vision is fueled by our collective adaptability. You know, progress rarely happens by staying strictly within the lines. It's about exploring the edges, being willing to evolve.
So being adaptable isn't about already knowing everything.
No, it's about having the courage to find the answers, often in new and unexpected ways.
Okay, so let's try and summarize them. What's the key takeaway about adaptability for every single alt-link?
I'd say it boils down to this: embrace change. Don't shy away from it. Proactively experiment with new techniques, new technologies, and cultivate that mindset: open, curious, resilient.
Ready to learn, adjust, evolve.
That's it. In this industry, you have to be.
And by really living this value, we're not just helping ourselves grow individually.
No, we're directly contributing to making Alter that innovative, creative powerhouse we aim to be. It's collective.
Well said.
And in our next deep dive, we'll actually tackle another one of Alter's core values. We'll explore how it shapes our culture and our success.
Sounds good. Definitely encourage everyone to tune in for that as we continue exploring what it means to be an alt-link.